And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. Okay, Twitch is a go. You know what? I'm going to try to remember to... Oh, let's check YouTube. Is a go. You know what? I'm going to try to remember to... Oh, let's check YouTube. All right, YouTube is fine. We're going to try to see if I can get the closed captions working. I think what I have to do is start something over here. I should try to remember to do this before stream. There's my closed caption dashboard. Let's see. Click to start captions. I don't know if anything's happening. Hey, I can see something happening. Now I wonder if we can just get that on. It says it's unavailable. Do I have to like? Oh, that's YouTube. Let me check Twitch. It's a Twitch integration. Stream captions. Add to my channel. I already did that. Build an extension, report an extension. Is it anything happening? I can't. I will eventually get this sorted out. I can see it over here. So now what does this mean? How do I get you available and ready to turn on? Yes. Sending to your Twitch extension. Okay. I see it in the corner there. Sound alerts. May 26th changelog is here. I don't know. Let me know. Settings. Did that do anything? Medium text. Let me know. Okay, I actually see stuff now. Okay, so it's kind of working. So I don't know if anybody else. I don't know if anybody else is here. That's the thing. It just might be me. Let me bring up my stream manager. I don't think I can do it with stream manager though. Do I see? I do see it there, and then I can click on that, and then maybe some text will appear at some point. There you go. Okay. So apparently I do have closed captioning running at least on Twitch. The next step is to figure out how to get it on YouTube. And I've got one viewer, which is probably me creeping myself. Anyhow, so nobody's here. But anyhow, happy National Vanilla Ice Cream, and it's National Refreshment Day. So our refreshment is Guinness, and we are having Guinness floats. I actually don't have a Guinness. I've got vanilla Coke. Although I do have vanilla ice cream. So I'll probably pour a little bit of Coke in there. I don't have a spoon, so I'm just going to probably let it melt a bit. Also, it's going to foam up really bad because that's what they always do, right? So we have a vanilla Coke float. I'll let that go for a second. We are working on some clothes. I'm going to do a little bit of work on an outfit and then a little bit of work on another outfit. So I've kind of got two outfits running at the same time here. So we'll get Marvy going. Impatiently waiting. Oh, damn, that thing just foamed up and stayed that way. Thing is, I really wanted a drink of my Coke. All right, let's position you so that you're not covered by overlays. Hey, Cliff, how are you doing? Nobody's here but you, but I'm going to shout you out anyhow, buddy. Is it backslash, shout out, backslash, shout out at Cliff Stalin music? There we go. Did that do anything? That did not do anything. Oh, there it is. It's over there. I'm all right. I'm doing well. I saw you on the other day, and I meant to pop in, but then I got distracted. I'm making clothes. I'm working on two outfits. I'm going to do a little bit of work on one outfit and then work mostly on the other outfit. So let me open project. This one right here. This is a kind of a stand-up collar shirt with a pair of pants. I'm trying to get the shirt to rest a little bit better than that, although that's pretty close. Maybe all I need to do is just change my material settings a little bit. Let's try something here. Then I'm going to just work on the fly here, and then I'm going to move on. I started a jeans skirt with a jeans vest set, which this isn't, but and I already forgot what I'm doing. I want to know what I'm doing. I'm tweaking my materials. This is moving slow. I'm going to put on this right here, and then we'll see how that works. I did not like that. We're going to undo that. I want this only for the shirt, so let's add a material here. Let's call you shirt. Let's select the shirt. Let's take this and put it on the shirt. Let's take that and switch it over to, and then see how that works out. Silk knit jersey. This is a really floppy material. So it should let this be, see, I like the way that works out. Although I think I'm going to tuck the shirt in a little bit more. Then I'm going to work on the pants. So let's stop that for a second. And to do that, I can hide this, but it's still in the simulation. And this lets me, and you know what, I'm probably going to make the shirt shorter now. Because I want to pull it down a little bit, but I don't want it to go down too far here, so it's too long in here. We'll just take this bottom edge up. If I can select anything. Let's try that again. And then I'm going to slowly just take that. And then we're going to try to tuck the shirt in a little bit further. So I can kind of grab this and try to pull it down so that comes in a bit more. Actually, I'm going to try stupid shirt tricks. Let's bring you back into view. And I'm going to freeze you, and I'm going to just for a little bit change the layer on this. We're going to say layer 5 on that. So now when I do this, this shirt wants to come on the outside. And I'm going to let it relax. And then we're going to trick it, put it on the inside. I think I'm going to take it up just a little bit more. We'll get this in here. The back goes down farther than the front. I have a way I can fix that, I think. Hey, Willie, how are you doing? Let's try this. Let me see if I just pull If I pull this down like that, maybe we can get it to come up. Hey, ET, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. Happy National Vanilla Ice Cream Day. And it's also Refreshment Day. It's one of those two for holidays. Aren't we lucky? I think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna flatten this out a little bit. I don't want to spend too much time on this one today. Having done that, and I think I'll just take these and we'll just bring those up like that. And I just want to remeasure this. Doing good. Both day to you. Happy both day. Oh, happy National Vanilla Ice Cream and Refreshment Day. 177.6. So I'm going to change that to 177.6. I'm just going to drag this, but I can't see the number because it's over here somewhere. There you go, 177.6. I don't like the way that's hanging. Maybe I'll just cheat that a little bit. Take that maybe a little bit that way. I have to reset this again. 169.7. $169.8 is close. You know what? Maybe I'll take you back down again. It's probably going to be okay. Although I thought I set the angles on these to be better. I did. Okay, let's stop that there. All right, I'm going to tuck the shirt in now. So I'm just changing the layer so that it wants to be underneath. I'm going to unfreeze this so it can move a little bit. So I think I'm in the ballpark. I'm still not crazy about what that collar is doing. I'm not going to worry about now. I'm going to just finish the fly and then come back to this at a later date. I'm heading in a direction. Somewhere. I may want to curve the collar a bit to get it to fit better or something. I think if I put it, I don't know. I'll tweak. if I get rid of the collar, I'm going to deactivate the collar and see what that does. Where's that thing? Deactivate's not on this side. It's over here. Deactivate pattern and sewing. And then I'll just hide it. See, that's what it was. That's what I kind of want to get it to do. So I have to kind of figure out, you know what, I'm going to slide those back a little bit so they're flatter. Anywho, I'm going to add a fly in here. It's going to go right about in here. I need some lines in here that I can. I'm going to add an internal line here at about 25 millimeters. That's the wrong line. That's the line I want. Are these still symmetrical? You know what? I'm going to make these asymmetrical now, or we're going to get rid of the linked editing. So hopefully I don't have to make any big pattern changes. Come on, let's just select that one line right there. And now I just wouldn't hit it. I deactivated. God damn it. I fat fingered something for sure. That's better. All right, I want to just select this one line right here. That one line I'm clicking on. Let's select that. Let's offset as an internal line. Let's make you 25. Let's say okay to that. I'm going to put a little line right in there. I'm going to extend to internal line. Hey, Rod, how are you doing? Let's give a few more shout outs. I still haven't got an ET command. No surprise there. But someday we're optimistic that that will do something. We do have the Willy command, though, in the meantime. Current brain fry. I'm doing well to find the bathroom. Well, that's important. You can't find the bathroom. You're in a world hurt. Let's try this again. Extend trim to internal line. Actually, extend trim and add point to internal line. Did that add a point? I don't think it added a point. I'm not seeing the point. You know what? Can I just put a split on this one? And then I can just take you, snap you to that. Can I just get rid of that? Nope. Can I do a cut and sew on these? Yep, that worked. I think that worked. That worked. Okay, what I need is I need a line right here that I can sew to. All of that just to get that one little stupid line. Then over here, I need a little bit of room in here because I'm going to extend this out 25. So these pants have a zipper in here, but then it has this one flap that comes over and buttons right there. So that's what we're going to set up here. They're very stylish. Offset pattern outline 25. Just like that, only I'm going to cancel that because I'm not linked editing on this anymore. So we'll remove the linked editing on that. And I can do this offset as a pattern outline 25. Okie dokie. You know what? I want to do what I forgot to do is add an internal line. When I did that, offset as pattern outline, create internal line 25. Okay. Because I also want to have a line over there. Offset as internal line 25. Okay. We're going to do a cut and sews on both of those. for stupid reasons. Then I need an internal line over here. 25, okay. I want to do a cut and sew on that. Then I need 35. Now I'm going to add some little attachments in here. I need one that's going to go right in here. So it's going to be 2. It's really small. And 25 and okay. Oh, that's supposed to be 35. Doi. Try that again. 2 and 35. This is a little thing that we delete later on when I want to make a unbuttonable, unzippable version, something like that. All right, gonna move you for a second. Gonna bring you over for a second. I'm gonna sew that into there. You know what? That needs to be. I can get rid of. I can get rid of that. And then I just need to sew you to you and you to either one of these, just like so. I think this is sewn, so that doesn't need to be sewn anymore. So I'm going to pull you out. Let's try that again. I'm going to pull you out. We're going to slide you in and rotate you a little bit. I just totally grabbed the wrong thing, didn't I? Okay, so that's going to attach like there. Now I need to add a strip back in here, and then we're going to attach that here and in here to hold that in place. And that, believe it or not, is going to be a 25 and whatever this is, 145, and I'm going to make it 180 by, you are still 25, right? Yep, okay. S. 25, 180. Okay. I don't know, what do you measure out to be? 138, 173. All right, you know what? I'm just going to do 173. So 173, let's change the length on that. Let's redo this. I'm gonna pay attention to what I'm doing this time. Ha. So that's 173.2. 173.2. Okie dokie. Now I just need teeny little strips that are the same as this. You know, I could just make these like 165. They can be a little shorter. And I need 2 of these. So I need one for this side and one for the other side. Like that. Okay, so where are you? You actually have to go on the inside. So we're going to kind of order things around here. So I need to sew this over here. So that's going to go in there. Do I have sewing right here? Yeah, I gotta get this sewing here can go away. No, not that. The sewing. That can go away. I think that's fine. That's fine. Hey Ray, how are you doing today? Say hey, it's DJ Ray. Okay, so we have our refreshment with our ice cream here. We've got a vanilla float with cherry vanilla soda. There we go. Yum. I actually have had Guinness floats before. I was disappointed they weren't better. That's all. They're not horrible, but just not quite the same as good old root beer. Okay, this is that thing still sewn? These got to get unsewn. I think you are you still sewn to something in here? No, you're not. I did undo you. Oh, you're still sewn too. No, you're supposed to be sewn. That's good. And then you got to get sewn in. Yeah, I'm going to rotate that 90. We're setting up a zipper on a pair of pants. And we're going to get this in here. So these are the little invisible things that hold everything together and act like fake zippers. And then I just have to remember what goes where. So this one is going to sew here and here. And then the other side gets sewn here and here. No, you get sewn. You can just get sewn right along here. So the easy part, that I can sew to there. That I can sew to there. The tricky part is these now get sewn onto this stuff. That's right. So that gets sewn to there and to there. And then this gets sewn to this edge. Now I'm going to nudge stuff a little bit to make it easier to sew. And then we're going to sew the other one in over here. And that gets sewn onto this side. And if I put everything in the right spot, it'll look good. If I didn't, it'll look weird. I have sewing that's not closing up for some reason. All right, let's take a look at what we got and what's going on. Apparently something. You're supposed to be over here. Why are you no moving? Why you no move? There it goes. What the hell? I think it's mostly good. Some of these angles are looking a little funky. I'm going to move these up a little bit. There's a little weird tension in my crotch now. I'm going to take my attachment points, just move them up a bit. And then we'll just adjust the sewing. See, I can't move that now because I can't select anything. So that goes over there. That can come. I moved the whole thing. I just want to do that. See if that helps relax out. You know, my tension's funny because I'm in the curve of the crotch. And that's looking weird. See, you look like you should be okay. Are you sewn to something in here that you're not supposed to be? No, you look like you're right. I'm gonna hide this. I'm gonna hide these two and see what's going on. It just might be really tight in here. Deactivate the pattern and the sewing on those. And I'm gonna kind of see. I think maybe that's what it is. I think the tension is just too tight in here. It's telling me I just need more material. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of nudging. Give me a little bit more room. So I'm gonna pull that a little that way, and then we're gonna pull these out. Well, that goes that way, and this isn't symmetrical anymore, so I gotta nudge you over like that. And that gives me a whole extra 40 millimeters in there. I am going to have to tweak a little bit of the fit. I'm going to have to readjust this at some point. If I do that, see, that pulls it tight again. Yeah, it's a little bit better. I need to make the waistband a little bit larger. You know, these are in the way. I can't see what I'm doing. You know, I inadvertently, with a single flick of the mouse wheel, I zoomed in so far I couldn't see anything. You and you. I'm just going to hide you. Those are currently deactivated. I'll bring them back later. This is still fighting the shirt underneath. You know what? Hey, Fallen, how are you doing today? I'm wrestling with pants. I'm just going to go ahead and deactivate this for a little bit. And then we'll also hide it. And then I can focus on getting this to play nice. You're acting like you're totally in the wrong. Okay, at this point, my waistband is too short. I know that, so let's fix that. So I'm going to measure one side, and then we'll adjust this line, and then we'll adjust the other line if we have to. So we're measuring along here. Doing all right? Most excellent. So that says 424.6. That says 379. That means I have to add, well, I'm just going to change length. 424.6. 424.6. Say okay. And then I'm just going to drag this out this way. And I think I want that to be around 35. And I want it to look kind of somewhere about in there. Of course, now I've got this screwed up, but I can fix that. So we'll just add an internal line here at 35. And then I can just cut that. And then we can just delete off the excess. And let's see how I probably have to go in and tweak my sewings a little bit. Anyhow, that's a lot more relaxed. I still got a little too much tension, I think, through here. But I may be able to get these to work. Let's try to get our holding pieces back in and see how it's going. And if I can get that done, I'm going to move on to another outfit. So let's revive these guys right here. They're sitting in the wings waiting to come back to life. Activate. And we'll make them visible. And then we'll just... And my crotch still looks funky as hell. I'm getting this weird pinch, and it makes me think something's not sewing up quite right in here. I've got a weird sewing going on in here. Let me see if I can fix that. See, this seems to be in the wrong spot. So maybe get rid of you. That should come apart. I think you're what's wrong. See, that's still getting pulled really funny in there. Oops. It's like these aren't even. Let's try this. Let's try resewing you back in. That and that. That's off. Oh, I know. You know what? When I made it shorter, this moved. That's what frickin' happened. I'm just gonna move that. So that's what's causing this bad tension in here. I'm gonna just move that down for a second. I'm gonna put you back. I'm gonna fix you. And then this needs to be tweaked a bit. And then that needs to be tweaked a bit. Let's see if we at least got that. You know what? That still isn't looking right. I'm probably going to stop and look at it later. I think. So, anyhow, I'm slowly trying to get my thing done in here. You know, I should have done is I should have done it over. You know what? Have I saved this? I might just I'm going to save the shirt as a garment because I'm happy with where the shirt is right now. And I think I'll save this up a version. The file um, save as garment selected. Um, what is that? A stand collar shirt. So I'll save the shirt. I'll do a file save as project, and we'll make this a V2. And what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to open up the original and redo how I'm doing this. So I'm making a little progress on this, but what I really wanted to work on, and now that I've already worked through almost half a stream, that's the problem with these short 2 hour streams. What do we got? File, open. We're going to go back to, I don't know where I saved the last one. Is it in my recents by any chance? No, because I was making morphs, wasn't I? No, wait, there it is. Jean skirt. CC12. Jean skirt. That looks, oh, we'll open that up. File, open project. There we go. This is ready. This I can make some good progress on. This one we're going to finish setting up the materials in Marvelous Designer. And then we're going to go ahead and try to get it fitted and set up for substance. So that's how the jean skirt and vest outfit's looking. I have to finish the trim. I got to put a trim spot right there. And I think that's it. And then I got to do add some trim on the bottom. I have trim there. I have a waistband. I need a little bit of trim here. I'm going to put a little trim here. We need something on the hems, and I need a little something on the sides. And then we'll set up the materials here. You know, I'm probably going to get rid of all of these and then redo it because it's probably faster that way other than trying to reuse these. Actually, I can probably reuse those. Never mind. Offset as an internal line. 5. Okay. Cut and sew. That's good. I'm going to call you vest trim. Okay, so for the pants, we're going to put a trim line. Actually, let's do the hem first. So I'm going to put one right there. Are we still linked? We're still linked. And also, I think I want you to come through here. Offset as internal line. Do a 5 on that. Okay. Cut and sew. Should be good. And what did I say? I want one right there. 5. Cut so. And I'm going to put this one here. This is going to be 0.25. Offset as an internal line. 2.5 because I want the both sides to add up to 5. And we'll do that. Probably good. All right, let's go through and did I cut and sew that? I didn't cut and sew that, did I? Okay, let's bring this down. Let's drag. Let's drag you to the bottom. Pants attachment. Let's give these a couple of colors. There it is. Pants attachment, I'll just make that gray. I want that to be a different color than the waist. And zipper, I want to have a different color. And pant loops is pretty close to pants, so I think we'll change that. Okay, and then what am I looking for? I'm looking for something that says pants trim. I don't have a pants trim. I guess we need to make a pants trim. I'm bad figuring shit. Let's give you a unique color. And then see if I can just drop this in. Missed. That's right, I was pointing at one thing and it colored the thing next to it. That's the way this program likes to roll. Yeah. And actually, I gotta change all of that to say skirt. That's right, this is left over from a pair of jeans. I probably should have did this from scratch, but I cannibalized a pair of jeans to make the jean skirt. I don't know if I actually saved time or just gave myself more frustration. On the other hand, I didn't have to redo the belt loops, so there's that. Okay, so you get to be moved to the back. And we're just going to pop in here and rename all of this skirt. Maybe with a lowercase k. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I put a yoke on the vest? I think I did. I have fake pockets. I could make real pockets, but then they're kind of iffy on D-force. Okay, skirt is set up, and I'm happy with that. I'm actually kind of happy with my arrangement for my UVs. I think we did take care of that. I do have a yoke. Do I want to call that yoke? And do I want to say front, sides, and back? I think we'll do that. And I'm going to call these things straps, the parts up here, just to give me another material zone for those. Uh, And I am going to have sleeve trim and collar trim separate from the rest of the trim. I do want that. What am I on? I'm going to call you straps. And it's, I don't know, that's just these areas at the top on the front. And I'm going to call you buttons. That's the area where the buttons go. And I need a, do I have an attachment holder in here? Skirt attachment, so I need a vest attachments. They're the little strips that kind of help hold the thing together as if it's buttoned. And then when we delete those in DAS, it comes apart. Am I done? I think I got one too many. Oh no, I want to trim collar. And trim arms. Although I may not need those. All right, let's start giving things colors. I'm going to go with the warm colors for this. And I'm sliding into the cool colors, so we'll avoid those. This will be the last. And then we'll come over, then we'll pick it up with the green. We'll pick it up with the yellow. Yellow for yoke. Actually, that's kind of a neon green. Oh, I didn't give you a color. Boy, what a baby didn't get a color. There we go. All right. Vest trim. So I selected everything and made it all trim to start with. Vest front, there and there. Sides. While I'm over here, I'll grab straps and drop that into there. Straps goes there. And those two are sides. And then the back. And the yoke. Buttons are these two areas here. Vest attachments are those. Trim collar is this and a few others. I'm going to change that color. It's blending in too much with another one. Let's go with olive. I think I'm also going to make you and you collar. And then the arms are going to be these that run around the armholes. And I think then we're ready to start thinking about exporting. I still have to get the other side. Are you? Oh man, why are you so weird? It's like you got twisted or something. Can I just line you back up? You want to just get back into place? Is that close? There's a little bit of a gap. That's not too noticeable. What was I doing? I was doing the arms. I got one more side over here to get. These. So that's part of the armhole. That's part of the armhole. Missed. And that's part of the armhole there. Missed. There we go. All right, I think this is all set. Let's pop into UV, the UV editor, and we'll fix that. We'll reset to the 2D arrangement, then we'll fit to the 0, 1, say OK. So my pattern becomes my UVs. And I think we're ready to start exporting 2D pattern. Let's hit save on this. And I'm thinking, let's double check. Let me take a look at the wireframe. Hey, Aaron, how are you doing? It was awesome listening to you today. Jamming away, dude. Super cool. You know what? I'm going to put trim on the bottom of these. Now that I'm looking at it. I'm working on a jean skirt and vest set in Marvelous Designer. That looks a little janky, but I don't know what I want to do about, if anything, about that. I think I'm just going to live with it. Here, let's give you a shout out, man. Are these shout outs working or I think they're broken? I think those are broken. I'm going to give you, I have to give you the Twitch shout out now. I remembered what the Twitch shout out was. I was doing it wrong before. uh, so, hey, everybody, if you aren't following Aaron Blue Tie, check him out. He's an awesome musician and artist. And did that do anything? I don't know. Did that do the shout out? I can't tell from where I'm looking. Anyhow, give him a follow. Super cool cat. Awesome music. A whole lot of fun to hang out with. Totally was lurking there today. I'm going to add trim here and here. Then I'm going to call this done. Right here, we're going to offset these. Offset internal line. 5. Okay. Cut and sew those. And then we're going to drop the vest trim on those. And then we're ready to think about exporting, getting it over to the DAS. Because I think what I need to do is make sure that it settles down. Oh, I need to tweak that just a little bit so that it sets flat. Let's hit save. I have run out of VRAM at this point. Okay, so that's bunching up a little weird, and I think I can tweak that so that it doesn't do that. This is kind of like the same problem I was having earlier with the other. I think I've got a weird something sewn in here weird, so we'll hunt that down. So we're right in here somewhere. So that sews into that. That sews into that. That's wrong. Yeah, I can tell that's wrong. I need to redo that one because you have to sew in. I can't tell which one you or that one. And you are done right. And the other side was done wrong. That means I need to, where are you sewn to? You're sewn to that, which means I think I have to sew you into here. Is that right? And then you into, I don't know. I can't figure out what I'm doing. That was the wrong place. I can tell by how it's getting hangry at me. You're here, and you go there. You are here. Oh, you do get sewn into this all the way down. Yeah, you don't go there. Okay, let me see. I'm going to add some angles to these. That and that. I'm going to put my fold strength to 100. Actually, we do them one at a time because they may actually be different. So we're going to call that 100 fold strength. I'm going to call that 90. And I've just fat fingered something. God dang it. All right, now we're ready. Let's try this. So that, we were setting that to 90 when I lost my mind. Okay, that's going the wrong way. So that's obviously needs to be 270. 180 degrees off that 90. That's better. Okay, now we're going to set this angle right here. Same deal. We set the fold strength to 100. And then I got to choose between, I'll try 90 again. So it's either 90 or 270. 90 is looking nice and neat there. So we're making these nice sharp angles. And then I'll do the same thing in here. And I'll do it to the other side. So I'm going to be optimistic. We'll say 100. And I'm going to say 270. And we'll go with that. Things are getting really slow because it's eating up all the VRAM. I'm going to say 190. I probably should save and restart. Marvelous Designer will do that. It will just take all the VRAM until it's eaten it all. I have done that by just jiggling the mouse. So you're looking a little, you're still looking a little stressed out there, man. Are these the same? See, this keeps fitting funny. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to restart. And we'll see how this goes. And yes, it is National Vanilla Ice Cream and National Refreshment. So, of course, I've got a picture of Guinness floats. I am actually drinking a cherry vanilla float. I apparently still have ice cream in there. Look at the way that. Mm-hmm. I've actually had Guinness floats before. Not terrible, but disappointingly not great. We sent. If you still drank, you would try it. Well, since you don't drink, you don't. You can go for the cherry vanilla classic float instead, right? All right, what is causing this to get all weird in here? It's like nothing in here wants to lay flat because I don't know. I can't tell. It's like I got enough pieces in here the right sizes. See, that's a nice big flat piece. But they just don't want to lay flat. Maybe I need to finish. I wonder if the tension on that's wrong or something. See, that looks like it's right. See, that looks right. Those are good. Those are good. I don't know. Let me go ahead and you're green, which makes me think maybe it's just a little. Let's try. Let's just make sure everything's at layer 0. What if I deactivate you? What do you do? I can't deactivate from this side. That drives me crazy. Some things I can only do in one window or the other. I deactivated the wrong thing. I cannot figure this out. So this is sewn to that. That. Alright, so what if I deactivate these? Why is this thing rolling so funny? And once again, Control F does nothing, despite the fact that it says it right there and I can select it on the menu. Let's see what happens when we put this back in. You're sewn, you're off. You're weird. Hey, the Control F worked that time. Yeah, it keeps wanting to fold funny. See, that looks good, right? I don't know. Just have to do with my weird angle on here. Yeah, let's get you sewn back into you. And then let's get you sewn back onto that. And I think you get sewn over here. I wonder if that's what part of my problem is. Yeah, I think that was in the wrong spot. Which means, were you? I think this is good here. We'll put some angles on those to get those to flatten out. Let's do that one there. So the same drill we were doing earlier. We'll try 90 first. That just completely went the wrong way. So we'll do 270. See, that's not too bad, but it still doesn't want to. So let's fix this angle right here. Actually, can I do that? Maybe 90. Yay. All right, we're starting to get there. So I'm not sure what you are. And why are you? See, you're now twisting underneath for some reason. Oh, you're part of the under zipper, aren't you? You actually need to be sewn to this. You are sewn to that. Do I not need this? Is that my problem? I've got one too many pieces in here. And I think it's you guys. I thought I had this all worked out. Let me see if I can figure this out again. So this will come off of here and here. You are here and here. You know what? Let's move. You know, I think I'm gonna try to just bring this all in a little bit at a time and kind of rebuild it up because my brain is getting whacked here. Okay, so that goes to there, and let's get this one back in here. I'm going to activate that. And then this is there. And that's there. And these need to come into here. All right, let's activate you. And let's make you visible. All right, Chris is checking. Got it. All right. So I'm going to get these in here. Then I can think about getting these in here. Okay. So let's make those visible, and we'll activate those. And that's going to kind of go like that. Only it really just doesn't want to lay flat. And I want this actually underneath. And I need you sewn into here. All right, my brain's starting to put it back together again. And let's see if I can get this under here. You know what? I'm going to have to put a layer on here just to convince that it doesn't want to stand there. All right, where's my layer? My layer is right there, -1. Let's try that again. It does say -1. Okay. Which means, yes, you want to sit on top. You want to sit on top. You want to be flat and underneath. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I super believe in you. Okay, now I'm going to take a thin strip and sew it onto here and sew it onto there. So we're going to bring this one back to life. Before I do that, though, I'm going to get rid of all of its sewing because I'm just going to redo it all. And I'm out of VRAM again. Because this little piggy ate all my VRAM. And alrighty. Let's get you sewn in. So we're actually going to sew this into here and here. So I'll sew this side into this side. And then this gets attached to that. Okay, then I gotta sew this over onto this here. So that goes, we'll do it with a, I'll do it like, actually, I don't know, which one of you is the long one? That looks about right. All right, so that's closed up nicely. Okay, let's put an angle in here and see if we can get that to come flat now. So Chris hits the space bar and it keeps simulating. There we go. All right, that's what I wanted to do. 190. Is it going the other way? Is that what my problem is? If I say 270. Nope. There's definitely 90. What about you? Oh, you still say, I thought you, did you? Did you say 270? Let's see how you go now. Okay, we're getting there. And then I'm going to put the last piece in here. So I'm going to want to sew to the other side of that. Overlapping sewing lines. Oh, because you're not activated and you got sewing lines on you. Okay, you're now activated. Let's make you visible. Let's flatten you back out. And let's move you. See, that time Control F worked. I'm trying to grab this thing. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm going to undo the sewing and then redo it just to make sure it's all right. Because I have a sneaking suspicion it looks a little off. So I want to take this side. So you onto this side. And then I think I want to take this, sew it in over to here. And then this comes into here. There we go. Okay, after all of that, I finally have that looking right. Okay, so this is ready to go now. My only problem is the tips of my vest have fallen in under the belt. Let's pull that back out. They should actually kind of just sit like that. And let me make sure, I think the front of the skirt has risen up a bit. And I want to pull the back up a little bit. I could probably live with that. Let me see if I maybe change the curve of this out a little bit further and adjust that. Is that what? No, that's a straight. Probably as good as I'm going to get it. And once the corners of the vests have slipped inside the waist, I think that's good. Let's hit save. Let's wait a minute. Oh no, that's fine. Let's double check my UVs. Just nothing quite as sad as like thinking you're done and realizing your UVs are all wrong. I'm just gonna reset and resize just to make sure they're where they're supposed to be. Okay, now I think we're ready to start exporting stuff out. All that futzing around with the frickin' fricks. Back to the 2D pattern, select everything, and file export OBJ selected. We are looking for, this is my CC Basics folder, so let's go over to projects, CC Basics, this is number 12. I'm going to put the whip folder right there, and I'll just call you CC 12 outfit for right now. So say jeans, skirt. Actually, I'm going to say jeans outfit because I'm going to have skirts and vests in here later on. G9, save that. Do not save the avatar. Thin, welded, and meters. We are good to go. All right, let's fit this to Genesis 8. I'll just bring this in, add to workspace as a morph target. Say OK. It's going to do its reshaping magic. We're watching the little orange thing up there. When it turns gray, it means it's done. It fits different on Genesis 8 because Genesis 8 is just weirder shaped. Actually, she's got a nicer shape. She's not as weirdly generic. But unfortunately, the vest ends up being shorter. But it actually looks nicer, I think. Anyhow, that's the Genesis 8 shape. We're going to save you out. I keep trying to select everything and it keeps not doing it. Let's try this again. It's gotten really slow. Come on. Export OBJ selected. Export OBJ selected. There we go. I'm now over in an avatar folder. So I have to go navigating back. And 12 and whip. And right here, we're going to call you G8 8 female. Then welded meters. Okay. I'm going to just save this. Save as project. And you'll just be the G8F. I spell it out because it makes it easier to see it. All right. I'm going to close this stuff. We're going to hope we don't need that again. And let's see if we can get this into DAS. We got 12 minutes. We should be able to get the Genesis 9 version started. I'm going to start the Genesis 9 version. I'm going to maybe try to get it set up in... I'm being overly optimistic. Try to get it set up for Substance Painter. Ideally, we'll probably be working on this one on Saturday on the 1 o'clock stream. All right, let's put you here. All right, let's get Genesis 9 in here. Let's do import. I want that one there. Okay, we're just going to fit it. It's currently not fitted to the base, but we'll fix that in a minute here. We'll run the transfer tool. Genesis 9 and the jeans outfit. And I'm going to use I'm going to call this a tight. This is pretty form-fitting. Although regular doesn't matter. I'm probably going to run this again. All right, now we're going to shape this to the female. Come up here, go to favorites, dial in the base female, select that. Now we're going to reload this in as a morph target. Accept that, say okay, find that morph target, dial it in. Now it fits. Now we reset this. So there's our base shape. Now I'll export that out again. At some point it was bound to do that. And V2, save that, accept that, select you. All right, reset that, and then we'll update the geometry with that shape. Okay, we're going to run the transfer tool once more on this to kind of tweak the weight maps to fit this shape. And I'm going to go with dress long tight. Sorry. Accept that. And because of the way we did this, we don't have to readjust for the female shape because that's what we so that should be what we're looking for. So that's good to go. So that's done. You got to clean up all the names. I'm going to drop a generic shader on everything to start with. I'll switch over to the headlamp. It's a little easier to see what we're doing. We'll put a deforce modifier on here. We'll come down here and we'll just put the base that. I'm going to stiffen up the waistband to help hold it in place. Make that 0.5. And I'll probably tweak the collar and the arms a little bit. This is why we have collar and arm trims. So I can come in here and just adjust their deforce settings separately. 0.5 on those. Actually, let's give this a quick check. Oh no! My goddamn belt loops fell off. They're not sewn on right. They're sewn on their internal lines. We're going to have to open it up in an old version and export it with that. All right. I forgot those belt loops were sewn on to internal lines that weren't cut and sewed. Skip you. Fortunately, there's a version from 2 years ago that doesn't do that. They've been screwing up the OBJ exporter for 2 solid years now and still not getting it right. Every time they add a new feature, they don't fix what they broke in the last one and they just make things worse. File, open, project. So we're just going to export this out twice again. So we're going to do that one. And then we'll do the G9 one again. So file, export OBJ selected. That's now there. Do that. Say yes. I think that was good. I'm going to do that again because I wasn't paying attention. Do that. Yes. Okay, now I'm paying attention. Thin, welded, and meters. Okay. All right, file, open, project. Let's get the Genesis 8 version re-exported here. This might be why I saved a copy. So I don't have to rerun the thing again. This should work. Export OBJ selected. We'll overwrite that. Just replace that. And thin and welded and probably meters. I think this time we're going to... Here, let's get this. So this should be good. I can leave this one open. This one doesn't eat up VRAM like the new one does. It's not as easy. It wasn't improved. Um, import. Let's try this again. That. Okay. Accept. Okay, I'm going to run the transfer tool real quick. I'm going to put the, here, let's put the D-force modifier on here. We'll come back to this in just a second. We'll get the, I have to get this fitted though. Do that, load in the morph target. Okay, let's check the D-force modifier. We're going to watch the belt loops. Okay, they stayed on this time. All right, we're good to go. Do that. All right, now reset you. Export this again. Overwrite that. Do that. Update the geometry with the shape we just saved. Okay, we'll just rerun the transfer tool real quick here to make the adjustments to the weight maps. Okay, make sure my D-force modifier is on here. We'll do the key setting changes that we did before. 0.1 to the bend stiffness. And I want to adjust that. And the collar and around the sleeves. We'll change the dynamic strength to 0.5 on those. Check that. All right, seems to be doing okay. All right, clear that. Clean these up. Let's come into here. Edit geometry. We'll convert to sub D. Edit geometry. We'll add a smoothing modifier. Edit scene identifier. We'll clean up the names of this. I'm just going to say outfit for this. And compatibility bases. I don't have to touch that, but you're actually, and I don't have to worry about that. So I'll just accept that. That looks good for now. And before I save it, I'm going to clean up the surface names. We're going to give these all colors. We'll export them out. We'll set it up for substance and we'll call it a night. So we're going to go a little past 9 tonight. So I just have to get rid of all of this excess garbage that Marvelous Design thinks oh so important to make me waste my time deleting. Yeah, but it's internally it means something to us, so we insist on exporting it. I will admit that at least the exporter used to jumble those for the hell of it. Yo, Wolin, welcome. Subs 11 months. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. There's a dyslexic heart for you. Check out Wolin over at DeviantArt. I don't think you stream though, but I do know I follow you at DeviantArt. I catch your stuff there. I may not favorite everything because I'm not really good at that sometimes, but I'm trying to get better at it. No, you don't stream. All right. Do you have any art links you want to share? Feel free to drop them in. You got Instagram or anything? I gotta remember to make you maybe a shout out command or something. I'm not sure what kind of noise a Wolin Ophidius Ophidius. I can't even pronounce that. I'm sorry. I'll figure this out eventually. I still have to make an SROM command. and an ET command now. I got to make an ET command. I need to make a note of commands I need to make. I should now make you a command that does something. You do have lots of energies. You post them in the Discord. Yeah, you can post in the Discord. I have a gallery in the Discord. Feel free. I don't know if you're already in the Discord or not. I think you might be, but just in case if anybody out there isn't, there you go. Or if you just want to post the links, do that too. Gloot. I am Gloot. What? Okay, those are all clean. Um, clean those. Oh yeah, I'm gonna give him colors. Okay, at this point, we're gonna save this. Oh, you meant woot. Woot woot. With this, let's do the save. You just never post anything. That's okay. You don't have to. No pressure. But if you want to, and if you stick it in the gallery, we have a Saturday night social at 8 p.m. Saturday evenings Eastern time. You have a Discord chat. We share what's in the gallery from the previous week, and we usually have an old cartoon, public domain. I've been looking through 1930 public domain cartoons. Um, Here I gotta save this. Wait, I gotta set up this folder, don't I? Yeah, I don't even have a folder set up. Let's set up the folder. I don't even have, hold on. I don't think I've got anything in this folder yet. Why is my why is my window so small? Ignore the psycho clown stuff. Projects, CC basics. This is I'm going to call this CC12. See, there's nothing in here. Let's go get my templates. We're running over. We're getting our templates. I need people, runtime, and templates. I'm going to copy those. We're going to run back over to here. I'm going to just paste those in. Okay, we're going to go to people. I'm worried about Genesis 9 right now. This is going to be CC12. I think that's the way I'm naming these. And we're going to save it right in here. Okay. Remember, it has to be Twitch safe. So, nice. Oh, I remember that outfit. And that's the boots I made to go with the Barbarella outfit. I had to give the outfit away, but I sold the boots because I'm. And then I've already forgotten what I called that outfit. Dang! Don't get old. It doesn't go well, right, Rod? Looking good, man. Thanks for sharing. It's got that retro sci-fi 60s look. Okay, now I can save this. No, I got to hook up the directory. Right, we knew that. Content directory manager. Add studio. Add projects. CC basics. CC12 right there. Select folder. Accept that. See, Rod was listening. There we go. I got to do it again because it didn't. Many years ago, Jay warned me against having too many directories. I, of course, ignored that warning. But I think part of the reason why it acts funny is because I have too many directories. Uh, every now and then my directories get a little weird, and it just may be because I've got like 70 or 80 of these things. Okay, we're going to save this down into here, right there. So we'll save that there. People, Genesis 9, clothing, me, CC, right here. CC9, outfit G9, save that, product. I gotta give this a name. There we go. Rest of that looks right. I'm not saying too much. Working on getting the, oh, okay, nice. So I'm going to do one more thing before I call it a night. I'm going to export this. We're going to set up the materials and we're just going to save it out for Substance Painter. I'm going to turn off the smoothing and the mesh resolution though before I export it. And we're just going to give each one of these a different color. So I'll just run through here and quickly assign colors. This is where my generic shaders come in really handy. This is the reason why everybody has to live with a generic shader folder in all of my products, just so I can do this really fast. That's, I think it's also handy just to have these generic shaders nearby if you're working on something. Yo, Napsmore. The trick is to organize directories into subdirectories so you can see all the contents on one screen. Yeah. Well, I have to put each one in a separate one for product purposes. While I'm working on a product, I don't want it, it's in one nice, I can grab the whole thing at once and package it. So that's the reason why I've got 70. It's like every product gets its own separate folder. I eventually periodically go in and clean them up. But it's not that year yet. So I think so that's what I use for substance painter. It's going to take a quick trip into. I'm not going to do this now, but I'm going to take it into Blender real quick and separate these out a little bit further, and then that would go into Substance Painter, and then we're ready to start texturing it. So we're going to export this out like this. We're going to create ourselves a substance folder in here where I put all my substance stuff. And then in here, I'm going to call this CC12 outfit IDs, because basically it's got those colors in it, and I call those IDs. It's kind of like an ID map, and G9, so I know which one you are. And we'll do that. And we'll shout out Napsmore real quick. There we go. By the way, good to see you. With that, I'm going to call it a day here. This is coming along nicely, I think. It'll look better on the female. It looks even better on Genesis 8 because it's smaller. All my clothes look sexier on Genesis 8 just because they become smaller. I'm a bad boy. Where's my female shape? Thanks for the last two. Hey, no worries, man. Okay, we're good to go. And with that, we're going to call it a night. Hey, if there's anybody on YouTube, like and subscribe. That would be awesome. For the rest of us are here on Twitch. We're going to find another cool cat to hang out with. I'm thinking one of the Dans, either Bad Tooth Records Yeah, thanks for being here, man. And thank you again for that resub. I appreciate that so much. And let's see who's on Twitch. I think it's a music raid night, but we're gonna see who's on. I got a couple of really good music streamers who tend to stream on Thursdays, Dapster Dan and Bad Tooth Records. So we're gonna see which one of them maybe is on tonight. If neither of them are on, I have a cross stitching friend who I occasionally raid. She tends to stream just about the same time I do. So if we're working it out right, Bad Tooth is on and Amsterdam is on. Um, and they're both doing music. Let's see. Um, Dan looks like he's doing technical. Let's go over and say hi to Dapster Dan tonight. We're going to say hi to Dapster Dan. Let me just take a real quick peek one more time at my list of cool cats are on, just to make sure there's not like somebody I'm going, oh my God, I haven't seen them in. So we're going to do that real quick here. And I'm not seeing anybody who is an absolutely, I haven't seen him forever. I've got a raid. So we're going to say hi to my good friend Dapster Dan. He's Canadian, eh? Um, so let's do this. If you can stick around for the raid, that would be awesome. We do have raid calls. Um, this is the one if you're not subscribed. This is the one if you are subscribed. So we're going to do that. Also, hey, feel free to purchase my stuff at Daz. I actually had four things come out. Was it Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday this week? I think one of them is still. It was $2.99 yesterday. It's $3.99 today. I want to say it's the tennis outfit. So feel free to grab those at Daz. Also, I think everybody's done this, but I'm going to shout out the Discord once again. Feel free to join. I try to announce whether or not I'm streaming on my scheduled streaming days. And also, if stuff gets put in the gallery, we share on Saturday nights at the Saturday Night Social. Next stream should be Saturday, 1 p.m. And then we're back 8 p.m. for the Saturday Night Social. So there is that. And I think we'll probably be working on this outfit on Saturday. So we'll see how that goes. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you all have a good National Vanilla Ice Cream and Refreshment Day. And to celebrate that, we've got Guinness floats. Not They don't actually taste as awesome as they sound, but that's okay. We like the idea. So, and Aaron, oh yeah, Aaron, good to see you. And everybody, have a good Thursday or Friday for those on the happy side of the planet. And hasta la vista, baby.